You was working with Focus for the bulk of the album, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Focus and DJ Khalil.
Okay, that's
And,
right.
and also I got I did a couple of joints. I think I'm definitely gonna use one with Nick Wiz from Jersey, who did basically the whole "I Told You So."
Okay.
Which is definitely like a flashback and a throwback in my life, and it's kind of felt good to do that.
Right. I don't know if you remember, man. Back in '06, we sent you. We actually did our first mixtape with Sly Boogie, with this West Coast joint, and we broke your tap dancing joint on there, and like.
Okay. Yeah.
So we had a poll after that, and we was asking dudes. I mean, yo, there was a whole shitload of songs. Don't forget, during the end of '06, we had the new Nas album, the J album dropped. Well, I mean, there was just so much shit out. And like, yo, one of the highest hit songs and one of the most talked about was that tap dancing shit.
Yeah, man, people really, really responded to that, homie. Like, they really did. Like, even now, like, it'll come on. Like, I always do it in my set because it's so true to me.
Mm-hmm.
The first 12 bars of that, as a child, I could have sworn everything a rapper said was the truth. Because NWA had guns in the booth. Ice-T really pimped toes in the suit. Rakim was God and Slick Rick wasn't scared to shoot.
Right.
Yo, Ice-T, I was 12 years old, New Music Seminar, Zulu Nation, pimped toes in a suit. Eric Wright had guns in the booth and was still doing his stuff when he was a millionaire. You know what I mean? There was no denying that Rakim mastered, the science. He was a 5%er, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He was God, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can't take that away from him. He was great, even though he had those limits to what he could say and what he couldn't say, so he wouldn't be off of his zine in his music, right?
Yeah.
And Slick Rick talked about shooting every once in a while, and he damn sure did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's times when my DJ will back that 8 bars up 3 times in the show because of how much I mean that. Like, I really, really thought that you had to be who it is that you said that you are. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much why my first albums were very just lyrical and kind of abstract or whatever, and I didn't even talk about what my neighborhood is like. I ain't talk about the niggas that I ran with in Queens or the niggas I ran with in Jersey. I didn't talk about what everybody did on the regular because I thought that it was like snitching, and I also didn't want to have to live up to that all the time. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But as you get older, the cat comes out the bag.
Now, I mean, being, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just being from East Orange, man, we both already know what time it is over here. I mean, the transition, from coming from an area like this, all the way over to, to Cali. I mean, for a lot of dudes that never been to both places, what are the main primary differences in your opinion? Like, what are the pros and cons of both, other than the weather? I already know the weather, man.
I think, for me, the pros were the dues that I paid out here and the magnanimous ice skating uphill that I did, being from the East Coast during those times when I was banging, really making moves out here during the whole conflict, and like I went to the Good Life like the week after they booed Fat Joe just for being from the East Coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow. They put me up there, and everybody, and AC alone brought me there and was like, yo, they just booed dude just because he's nice, but they just booed him just for being the East Coast or whatever. He said, when you get up there, yo, you know what I'm saying, just be ready for anything. And yo, I went up there. You know what I'm saying? And this is their breeding ground. That's right there. That was the true lyrical spot. Anybody will tell you was the Good Life. Anybody worked their weight and salt out here, was there. So when I first started spitting, though, they threw all of these funk beats on or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Okay, 12 bars, 14 bars, okay, 16, 20, 40, by at least like the 136 bar, whatever. Dudes are just like, what? No matter what they played, yo, I would not stop. When they stopped playing the beat, I was still going a cappella, and I would do that consistently whenever I could get in there. And, people just, like, after a while, from doing that, and then, get down in the hood with cats like Nino Cappuccino and just really being a regular dude and respecting the customs that they have out here. Right. You know what I mean? I just kind of really earned my stripes out here, So the difference out here for me is I came here and brought them something that they may not have been so exposed to, when I did it with humility and to the best of my ability, and they appreciated it. Where home, I kind of felt a little bit taken for granted, to be honest with you. It's kind of like, you know, I have the ability to look at myself as toothpaste and as a product. So sometimes if I say things in the third person, it's not to be arrogant. It's just kind of like what is, and you know, like we all have to realize what we are and what we're capable of. And I'm thinking to myself sometimes when I wasn't getting the love and support that I should get, like, wow, do you know, like, what I've done for this lyric thing? And I'm sitting right next to you. And how could you not be playing me on my radio station home? And, like, how could you not have love for me when the rest of the world does?
Yeah.
Like, how can I go to Australia and people be like, yo, you know, this and that and that and this? And then, like, the media outlets on the East Coast not even reflect the amount of love that I would get in the street. Are you kidding? I would go to Harlem and niggas would be like, Chino, what's that? What? You know what I'm saying? But going back to the original question, I know I digress on some other shit. The main similarities are real, will always attract real, especially in North Jersey. If it's anything sweet, niggas are gonna know. In LA, son, it is not a game, yo. It is really not a game. You don't have one type of individual, homie. You have many different types of individuals. You got so many different ethnicities, so many different gangs, so many different hoods. It's a whole nother shit. You really, really gotta have your shit together out here, and you really, really gotta be, you know, you gotta have the correct package. You gotta be right, you know, with these streets out here.